Hey everybody, this is Gregory from Dapp University. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to build an Ethereum wallet with JavaScript. Okay, so before we get into all that, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already and click the like button down below. And as always, if you want to learn how to become a highly paid blockchain developer, then you need to join my free training on my website over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. So first, let's just define Ethereum wallet and why you might want to build one, okay? So it can mean a lot of different things. I want to clarify the terms. So you might be thinking like an Ethereum wallet, like an iOS app or an Android app, a mobile app of some kind where you can, store Ether and send it, a cryptocurrency wallet basically, right? That is one type of Ethereum wallet, right? There's like an Ethereum wallet from the programming sense of just like a structure that holds multiple accounts. That's also a wallet. There's wallet interfaces on the web, all kinds of stuff. All right. So I'm going to show you the tools that you can use in JavaScript to build all these types of things today. Okay, so let's jump in and get started. In order to build the Web3.js wallet with JavaScript, you're going to want to use the Web3.js library. So I've done several videos on Web3.js, so you can check those out if you haven't already. And head on over to web3js.readthedocs.io to get started. All right, you also want to have Web3.js installed on your computer. You can do that with Node Package Manager with just npm install Web3, all right? And you're going to need to check the current version to make sure it's compatible with the examples I'm showing you today. I'm looking at version 1.0 right now, so you just want to download some stable release of version 1.0, okay? All right, so let's talk about the tools that you can use inside of Web3.js to build an Ethereum wallet, all right? So the first thing you need is an account, okay? And the first tool that Web3 gives you is the ability to create an account. All right, so you can see web3.eth.accounts.create. You can do this in your terminal. Let's go ahead and open the Node console. So say Node. Once you've got Web3 installed, I'm going to require Web3. And I'm going to go ahead and assign it to a variable. So say Web3 equals require Web3. All right. And that's just our library import. So now I want to essentially assign a new Web3 instance like this. Say Web3 equals new Web3. Okay, and I'm not going to pass in any Ethereum node connection or anything like that. If you watch my other previous videos, this isn't really going to be connected to the blockchain. I do that in the other videos where I pass in like a Infura node. Or any kind of Ethereum node connection here. We're just going to skip that for now because all we're going to work on is the account creation, which is handled natively inside of the Web3 library. So, all right, so now we have our instance of Web3, and I'm going to do this. So Web3 ETH accounts create, Web3 ETH accounts create, all right, and there you go. So this creates a new account. You can see the address, the private key, and we've got some other functions that come back like sign transaction, sign encrypt. So first and foremost, don't use this account, right? I've exposed this private key on my screen here, and it's unsafe for anyone to use this account for real purposes. Like, do not store any funds in this because everyone watching this video is going to know it, and you don't want to have those funds compromised. So quick warning. All right. So that leaves me to my next point. So this is your way to, create the account, and this private key is very sensitive, right? You don't want to be showing this private key to anyone. You don't want to store this private key inside of a database as is, right? If you're going to create a wallet of some kind, whether it's a web wallet, whether it's a mobile wallet, whatever, you don't want this sensitive data to be sitting on a server or on a device just like it is, okay? So let's look at how you might address that, okay, if you're building an Ethereum wallet. So let's see here. What you want to do is look at this next function called encrypt, all right? So this allows you to encrypt the account with a password. So if you're going to create a wallet, what you could essentially do is allow someone to create an account of some kind, whether it's associated with an email address or not. It just depends on how decentralized your users want your application to be or how much data they want you to actually collect. But you could essentially, ask for a password from the user, okay, to lock their wallet. And this will encrypt the private key into this format right here, okay? And what this allows you to do is, this is a lot like the JSON key store files that you might have seen if you've ever worked with Geth, right? Basically, it's going to allow you to store an encrypted version of the private key that can then be decrypted with the same password that was used to encrypt it, all right? And this is something that's much safer to store like on a device or on a server somewhere, Now, there's lots of mixed opinions about this, but if you're going to do it, this is going to be one of your safest or safer ways to do it, okay? So I'll just show you how to do that right now, all right? So let's see, we'll encrypt it like this. We'll go ahead and say Web3, let's look at the function name here. So this is Web3 ETH accounts encrypt, Web3 ETH accounts encrypt. And let's pass in the account and then a password. All right, so it's two function arguments. So private key, the private key. So we'll copy that like this. I'm gonna click copy and I'm gonna paste it in here. So here's the private key and here's the password. We'll just call the password foobar for now, all right? And there you go. So here is the format that is safe to store. So you could put this in a database, you could put it on your device of some kind, however you're going to build your wallet. This is a much better way than just storing this. Basically, the problem is if somebody hacked your database, you could see that. It's kind of like storing a password in a database now. You store encrypted versions of passwords and you compare the hashes whenever you authenticate users. It's the same kind of thing. Like you don't want your password sitting on somebody's WordPress website or something like that because they're super vulnerable to attacks. And they could, if you use the same password for your email, it's all kinds of problems. So that's how you'd encrypt the account. You would store this information for the user to be able to, log in. All right, so let's look at how to decrypt that as well. So basically, we can just reverse it like this. So let's store this to a variable. Let's say JSON, okay? And now we can say Web3 ETH accounts decrypt, and then we'll just pass in the key store, JSON, and then we'll pass in the password as well, foobar. All right, and there you go. That's your account representation, just like we saw whenever we did Web3 ETH accounts create. All right, so they get your account back to the back to the format it was whenever you created it, and that's a much safer way to store it in your wallet. And now, if you're going to build something like an Ethereum wallet, there's lots of stuff you can do with this. So if you want to build a basic wallet like a web interface, if you're building a new cryptocurrency and you want to have a web interface, or you have a mobile app where you can store multiple Ethereum tokens or your own cryptocurrency or something like that, you might want to just be able to send transactions, right? And you can do that with some of my other videos, which I've talked about, where I show you how to essentially send transactions. You can do sign transaction right here, right? So Web3 ETH accounts sign transaction, and you can build the transaction. You can talk about how many Ether you want to send from one account to another. If you have your own cryptocurrency with an ERC20 token or something like that, you would put all the transaction information for the smart contract function to send that cryptocurrency as well. In the case of an ERC20 token, it would be the transfer function, okay? All right, so check out previous videos in the Web3 series to look at that, because I've covered that in quite extensive detail. I go through all that step by step, okay? So let's also look at some other things you can do with this while you're here, right? So you can also work with wallets as a construct, a programming construct. And that's something I mentioned at the beginning of this video, okay? So wallet means a lot of different things. It can mean like a web wallet, like I talked about, or a mobile wallet. It can also just mean like an Ethereum wallet as a programming construct, where or an Ethereum construct, I should say. I may not be using the best definition here, but I'll try to illustrate what I'm talking about. So essentially, like when we created an account here, we just created a new account, right? So a wallet is an account is sort of like your individual user on the blockchain, right? It's sort of like your username and password is kind of like your public key and private key, or your address and your private key. A wallet is basically something that holds multiple accounts, right? And you can create new wallets to hold multiple accounts like this. So I'll just demonstrate that here. Web3 ETH wallets, accounts. Wallet create. All right, and here's a new wallet, okay? And it's got multiple accounts inside of it. And you can see that looks a lot like the account that we created in the last the last example. And this is a way that you can also this is something else that you can do if you're going to build an Ethereum wallet is build a wallet for the user, not just a single account. All right. So if you ever use something like MetaMask, this is a good example of something where you can store multiple accounts inside of here, and it's an application that runs in your browser. Yeah, so this allows you to have multiple accounts, which a lot of Ethereum wallets do. And you might want to look at something like this rather than try to manage each account yourself, right? And this is something that can be specify with a recovery seed phrase and all that kind of stuff, right? So you can also tell it how many accounts you want to create whenever you create the wallet. So we could say 10, right? And this would create a whole bunch of new accounts. Boom, right? So you could do it with 1 or 2, something like that, right? And you can also encrypt the wallet just like you did with the account, right? So you can do Web3 accounts wallet encrypt, Web3 ETH accounts wallet encrypt, and we can say foobar, right? So let's see, I don't think that's all of the, yeah, let's try. All right, so there's your encrypted version, all right? And you can also do it with decrypt as well, all right? So we can give this you can assign this to a variable. We can just say key store. All right, and we can decrypt it like this, Web3 ETH accounts wallet decrypt, Web3 ETH accounts wallet decrypt, and pass in the key store and the password foobar. All right, there you go. There's your wallet back in action. And you can use this wallet to assign any number of transactions that you want to send cryptocurrency, to interact with smart contracts. I mean, you could even theoretically build dApps that don't require you to use MetaMask, right? So if you're going to do this on a server or something like that, I'm going to make another video about that where you can do it in Python, okay? So that's going to be the topic of the next video, where I talk about how to, potentially build blockchain applications without MetaMask in Python with Web3, okay? And that's a way that you can store private keys locally with that key store file. And I thought about creating a new series on how to create an Ethereum wallet. So if y'all are interested in that, just leave a comment down below. Be a multi-step series, step by step. I'd show you everything about how to do it in JavaScript, create a web application, all that kind of stuff. So if y'all are interested, leave a comment down below. All right, so that's all I got for today, guys. That's some tools that you can use to build an Ethereum wallet. Hope that gets you started. Like I said, I might be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to build a wallet from start to finish. So if you're interested, just leave a comment down below. Yeah, and always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the like button down below. That really helps these videos get found. And also, if you want to learn how to become a highly paid blockchain developer, you need to join my free training on my website over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.